he's changed it. All right, great. So we're going to open the meeting. Welcome to the Fendalton-Waimairi-Harewood Community Board. So we're opening it for the Monday, the 14th of March, and we are opening it at 4:32 p.m. So just like any Zoom meeting, for all those who aren't speaking, if you could please mute yourselves, just so we can hear everyone nice and clearly. And for all those elected members, if you could please have your videos on so we can see you, and also have your full name in the bottom of where your name is as well. And just for other housekeeping matters, when we go through the process of coming to decisions, we're going to have the screen, which you can currently see, where you can see the agenda that's going to come down, so we're able to see everyone and we can have robust discussion, and I can see if anyone has any questions. If you could please use the raised hand icon. You can find that on the reactions button, and then click raise hand. That means I know that you've got a question to ask. But if you want to just simply raise your hand, or if I missed you because I can't see you, I can't see your face, then just you're welcome to unmute yourself and just say, Bridget, I have a question. So in these times, obviously, we're going to have to be a bit nimble and work through them, because it's always a little more challenging to do things over Zoom than rather face to face. I will also be asking, when it comes time to voting, I'll be asking for, all those in favour say aye, and then I will wait for quite a long time just to make sure that everyone hears, and then I will, after I've heard everyone, or once I've heard the people who are happy with it, I'll then say those against, and then I'll pause, and then I'll say carried, just to make sure that there's enough time so people can say how and vote around how they feel with the particular item. The other thing too is we are live, so this is live streaming and this is being recorded, so please be conscious of that. And with that, I will kick us off with item number 1. So this is apologies, and we haven't received any apologies. Now, does that need to be, that doesn't need to be carried, does it?
Not if there's no apologies, no.
Okay, great, excellent. And then item number 2, declarations of interest. So we do have one declaration of interest. This is for James Goff at item number 8. Are there any other declarations of interest? No, I'm assuming there aren't any. I haven't heard anyone. So could I please have a mover for item number 2? Don't you move it? Oh, perfect. Okay, great. Yep. Item number 3, confirmation of the previous minutes. So these are the minutes that were held on the 14th of February. So I'm happy to confirm them. So I'm happy to move, but is there a seconder? Oh, okay. I think I heard James.
Anyone, I don't mind.
No, that's great. I heard you, James, first, so that's great. Excellent. All those in favour say aye.
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 Great. Any against? No, carried. Perfect, thank you. And now moving on to item number 4, public forum. So we were going to have 2 presentations for public forum, but I understand that one of them isn't able to attend, and the other, who is Patricia Wallace, from speaking on behalf of the Friends of Aberley Park, was also going to possibly be presenting with Emma Twiddell. So I'm just asking if either Emma or Patricia, whether you are present and if you would like to present us with your public forum presentation.
So we don't have Emma or Patricia here at the moment. Patricia's just emailed me to say that to apologise and say she's sending a written document instead. Yeah, so I'll circulate to the board after the meeting.
Yeah, no worries. So, well then, with that, Aidan, should we move on to item number 5?
Yep.
Okay, great. So item number 5, deputations by appointment. There were no deputations by appointment. Moving on to item number 6, presentation of petitions. And similarly, there were no presentations of petitions, which brings us to item number 7, proposed road names for 40 Johns Road. And I believe we have Paul Lowe here to present on this item. Paul, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Yeah, look, we've got a subdivision up on Johns Road. It's the former Applefield site. So it used to be used for orcharding purposes. So the developer has put forward a series of names that link in largely to the orchard use: Packers Lane, Pip Lane, and Harvest Lane, with some other options if they're not deemed appropriate by the community board. So they're all private rights of way as opposed to public roads.
Perfect. Thank you, Paul. Does anyone have any questions for Paul on the road names? No, I'm just checking. No one has their hand up.
I'm happy
All
to
right.
move.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mike. Yes.
Happy to second.
Okay, so that was Mike to move, and that was Linda to second. And then Aidan, do you mind if I move? I can't see your mouse, so I might just move on to all those in favour. Is that all right?
That's all right.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So we have Mike to move, Linda to second. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any against? No? Carried. Okay, great. Thank you. And thank you so much, Paul, for coming along to our meeting. That's great work that your team has done. Excellent. Okay. Moving on to item number 8. So this is 73 Roydale Avenue for the proposed no stopping restrictions. I just want to highlight here that James has virtually moved himself from the table with regards to the conflict of interest. So we have Sally Ann here to present on behalf of this item. Sally, are you there?
I am, yes. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, so what it was, we had the manager of the Russley Retirement Village contact us. They've been doing some building there, and they've had a new entrance constructed further west along Wardvale Road. They've been having difficulty with vehicles turning in and out of there. They've had a few near misses. So yeah, they asked us if we would install some no stopping restriction in the form of the broken yellow lines. So the plan we've put in is to extend the existing no stopping restrictions by 18 metres. This gives the minimum gap sight distance that we need along there. So is there any questions on that?
Yeah, does the board have any questions for Sally Ann?
I don't have any questions.
I guess it is south, not west.
Oh, south, sorry. Yeah, it's kind of southwest.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
no,
I'm happy to move and support the proposal by staff.
okay.
Great stuff, thank you.
All right, thank you, Sharish. So we have Sharish to move, and do we have a seconder?
I'm happy to second it.
Happy to.
Oh, thank you, Linda. Yeah, sounds great. All right, all those in favour say aye.
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 Any against? No? Carried. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sally Ann.
No worries, thank you.
No worries. So moving on to item number 9. This is 125F Graham's Road regarding the easement. So I believe we have Russell Wedge is present to speak to this particular item. Russell, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Yes. Please feel free to take us through the details of this particular item.
Sure. So on Graham's Road, we have a strip of land which is a local purpose landscape reserve, which is between the residence houses at 127 and 129 Graham's Road and Graham's Road. The property owner of 127 also owns a section behind his place at 129, and there is an easement that goes across the local purpose access reserve from Graham's Road to his property. Unfortunately, there was actually a tree growing, actually a very nice mature tree growing very, very close to the existing easement. And if they were to go ahead and put a driveway in, which is what they want to do, they would actually damage the tree, severely damage the tree, and probably actually it would it would actually die, basically. It's so close to it. So what we are proposing is to form a new easement, which would go between the two existing large trees that are there, and it would just service this property at 129. We looked at actually lifting the easement, or discharging it, but to do that, there's actually quite a few other properties that have, as part of the subdivision, that actually would have, we'd have to get their approval to do that. And in the past, it has proven quite difficult to get other owners' approval. So we thought the easiest way is for the council to just put a new easement in, which would be just for this one property. Any questions?
Right, thank you, Russell. So I'll just pass over to the board. Does the board have any questions regarding item 9? I can't see anyone, unfortunately. So Aidan, do you mind sharing the screen? I don't think anyone's hand is up, but I just have a quick question, Russell, around the easement. So I'm assuming obviously the residents were kept in the loop about the process of the easement. What were their opinions about the easement change?
So we did a public notification, which was over 4 weeks, and we received no comments or nothing came back from any of the residents, which is good. The owners of 127 are extremely pleased with our solution to create this new easement, because they also like the tree as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Win-win. Excellent. Any other questions?
Happy to move it, Bridget, if you like.
Great. Thank you, Sam. Anyone to second?
A second.
Oh, I saw Sharish's hand. Great. So that was Sam to move, Sharish to second. All those in favour say aye.
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 Right.
Any against? No? Carried. Okay, great. Excellent. Thank you so much, Russell, for your time on that. Cool. I'm not sure if you're still here, but we appreciate it. Moving on to item number 10. This is for the Fendalton-Waimairi-Harewood Community Board Area Report. And we have Marianne to present.
Thank you, Bridget. I'll take the report as read. There's a good link there to a directory that's been made in terms of the groups that are normally involved in cultural galore. One of the things Lisa's been doing, she's set up a wee kind of organising committee made up of different agencies and people and groups that are involved with the event. And one of the things that came out of that was, rather than just a one-day event where we all come together and can celebrate, going beyond that, and how do people then have good information about who was there and what do they provide and that kind of thing. So this really cool directory has been created. So we included a link in there to that. The safety video, we've included a link to the video in there, which Bridget presented to the council last Thursday and went down very, very well. And just to let you know that the Mayor and the Chief Executive have both endorsed our application to submit it for an Excellence Award at this year's Local Government New Zealand Conference. So I've just finished completing the application form for that, and Leanne and Dawn have both signed that. So that's exciting. There's quite a bit of stuff going on in Bishopdale. The toilets is one thing, but it's kind of always wider than that. And there's so many more people wanting to come on board and be involved in the stuff that's happening out there. So Natalie's got a really great collaborative project going on in Bishopdale, including a group of people that have come to her to say that they'd like to become guardians of the village green and look after it and that kind of thing, which is really neat. Just a wee bit of an update on the walking festival, which has just changed a bit this year due to COVID, and we had our community network meeting on the 23rd of February. And then just to remind you that the Strengthening Communities Fund opens on the 21st of March and applications will close on the 26th of April. And Just one thing that's not in there I thought I would mention is that on last Friday, nominations opened for our board's Community Service Awards. So if you've got people in mind that you think might be good for a tap on the shoulder for a Community Service Award, it's all the application and everything is online, or you can get it through any of my team here, a hard copy application form. And I think that's probably about it. Any questions?
Great. Thank you, Marianne. I just want to highlight a few things that came out of the report. One of them is in particular just to say a massive thanks to Karen. So Karen from staff had a huge part to play in that safety initiative. So yeah, it's really exciting that our board and to have the endorsement of both Dawn and Leanne to be pushing this project. It's a really awesome thing, and it sounds as though that it's, yeah, I mean, we've sort of already said it before around how other councillors are wanting to take the safety initiative and see how they can put it throughout their own wards. And then the video was just a wonderful way to not only see Sam McDonald's fantastic talent for theatre, but also to just see it all kind of come together. So yeah, a huge thank you to Karen for that. I wanted to ask Marianne, for the Community Service Awards, is that something, you know, while we as individuals can scout people, I'm assuming that we would be nominating people from all the boards, like as a whole would be nominating someone?
No, it's normally done by, I think there needs to be 2 people that nominate someone. Okay, and it can be anyone. So there's a lot of people out there at the moment that have been working tirelessly through lockdowns and all that kind of thing. So I'm sure there's plenty of people. But yeah, basically 2 people need to nominate someone, and then we let that person know that they've been nominated. And the board members can be one of those 2 people that nominate somebody. But yeah. Yeah. No, great. But if you've got any ideas, let us know, because we can shoulder tap people, and we'll just have to work out how we do the function this year, depending on where we're at with the traffic light system in terms of holding a function. I know last time we held it at Monavale, which was actually really nice, but I think that we only had about 6 recipients that year. So depending on the numbers, we have to wait and see. Some boards have decided not to hold functions, but board members are going out to their places of work and actually giving them their certificate, presenting it to them there at their place of work. So that's something you might want to think about. But like I said, closer to the time, depending on numbers, we'll think about how we want to do that. Yeah, nice. Well, thank you. Does anyone have any questions for the report? No, just applause from Mike.
I did have one, and I've probably mucked it up. I thought for some reason the Arundel Gate and stuff was going to be in this report. Was that? No, Lynette spoke to you about that, didn't she?
Yeah, but there was going to be some commentary around it, and I thought from that conversation she said there was going to be some stuff in it. It's no problem, but as long as we just know that it's on track. Yeah. Yes, it's definitely on track. There may be, I could ask for a memo. There wasn't going to be a report. She got a bit mixed up. So there wasn't going to be an actual report coming to a board meeting, but I can certainly update you. That's cool. I mean, to keep it tracking along, if that's okay. Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Sam. Mike, I see your hands up.
Thank you. I found the right button.
Nice.
Just, it may come up later, but the Garden Awards, will they be in-house or delivered by hand or post? All boards this year, bar Horswell, Hornby, Riccarton, I'm not sure that they've decided yet, but all the other boards have decided to just post out the certificates this year, because we always get more than 100 people coming to that function, and they do tend to be older adults, a large number of them. So it wouldn't be a function to hand them out, wouldn't be something we'd be looking at right now. So the Beautifying Association are aware that we're just going to be posting out the certificates this year. But we thought maybe the trophies could be hand delivered by board members. I think we did that last time.
and we've been sent through their list of recommendations for the trophies. So we thought we might go out over the next couple of days and take some photos. So then I'll organise a wee workshop with the board to have a look at those and let you come up with who you want to receive the trophies.
Thank you. Wonderful answer.
Sounds good.
Yeah, very quickly on that, if I may. I had the privilege of representing the board at the handing over trophy to the Roydwell retirement home, and the expression of the gardeners, the two women who received it together with the CEO, I will never forget. So it was very, very special for them as well as for me.
Very nice. And it's actually quite nice because more people got to be involved with it, doing it that way, Sharish, rather than only 2 people being able to come to a function. You were able to have more people from the village there. So that was quite nice too.
Marianne, one quick thing just before we move on to the other item, just to do with the report and back to the safety initiative. So I know that there had been discussions about us looking to do the safety initiative in other areas. I'm just wondering, is there a time that because we sort of had a bit of a safety initiative committee sort of group that was involved in this, are we looking at sort of getting back together to discuss next steps and what another safety initiative in another area could look like?
Yep, absolutely. Natalie has already started some conversations with people in the Bishopdale area to get it underway over there. And I know Mike and Sam, with it being Avonhead Russley, you were involved with the working party this time round. It may be that we have people from the Harewood area involved next time. But initially, it's not to say that it's going to be the same. It'll be what suits the Bishopdale area best. And so she's having some discussions with some of our key stakeholders over in Bishopdale at the moment as to how we do that. But Avonhead Russley's not finished yet. There's still going to be, some follow-up stuff to happen. And that'll be part of these projects, is to actually carry on monitoring things and see if that has had an impact and what that impact has been. So so Natalie is certainly well underway with looking at Bishopdale. And I also want to take the opportunity to acknowledge Natalie's involvement in the Avonhead Russley one as well. She was involved and, did a lot of the groundwork at the very beginning. And Karen, of course, came on board kind of halfway through. So, but yeah, just wanted to acknowledge Natalie as well.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Natalie was incredibly involved at the start, and also the I'll never forget the meeting we all had around how to actually, what were the questions we were going to ask for the survey. So yeah, it's definitely been a wonderful collaborative event. Awesome.
Yeah, and also I know at the last board meeting you had indicated that you'd like the police to come and do a report back. We have reached out. They are extraordinarily busy at the moment. They've got a lot of staff down with COVID too, I understand. So it may be just a wee while before we get them to the board, but they're definitely aware that we're keen to hear from them. But I've kind of said don't panic, and when you can, really.
Sounds good. All right, thanks, Marianne. So do we have a mover for the report? Yeah, I saw Sharisha's hand. A seconder?
In a second.
Thank you, Linda. All right, so Sharish to move and then Linda to second. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any against? Any against? No, carried. Great. Thank you. We're moving on to item number 11, elected members information exchange. So does anyone have any items that they'd like to bring up with the board while we're all together? Yes, Mike, I see your hand function. Well done. You're doing really well with this.
It'd be good if I could hear. Some of you may have got an email from an ex-employee of council in relation to Burnside Park and the Burnside Park cycle track or BMX track, and also the road. Question was raised, do we leave it till later? And my suggestion is I would wait till the staff are available. Otherwise, we're just going to go chasing our tails and make all these promises or whatever to people and then go to the engineers who say, no, you can't do it. So I understand the reasons why for COVID. So Paul McCosker, I'm sure, will be okay as long as someone is aware of the problem and will resolve it at some stage. So that would be my suggestion. We wait until the engineers are available.
Yep, sounds good. I think you CC'd me and who else? Sharish was involved as well, wasn't he? And yeah, okay.
Sam's busy, and I understand that. So Sam's BMX is not working, so we'll look after it for you, Sam.
Great. I'm comfortable with that. I appreciate that. We don't want to be, there's a lot, it feels a bit like we're in limbo right now, right? Because we can't, because of everything that's going on with Omicron, but obviously safety is really important. So that makes sense. So any other elected members information exchange?
Just on that, sorry, the digging up the road in Avonhead Road outside Mr. McCosker's house for the new sewerage system. So that could be another month or so. So we don't have a problem there with the road. It's just mainly the BMX that he's concerned about. But his background was he was in that sort of field with council, so he's quite keen to see something done.
Yeah, no, sounds good. All right, any other elected members information exchange? No? All right then. Well, with that, I will close the meeting for what time is it? 4:59 p.m. So thank you, everyone. And yeah, well done.